My name is Dane Romley. I'm a character layout artist here on The Simpsons, and I'm going to be showing you how we lay out the scene selection menus for the DVDs. So first we start off with a background layer, which one of the BG artists have done for us. We then have another layer of these chairs, which the characters will be sitting on. So I'm going to start off, I'm going to draw a little picture of Homer. He's going to be sitting right here in this chair. Start off with his belly usually. Maybe his head. So see, I'm just starting with just basic shapes, blocking in where I want the character to be before I go into all the neat details. I want to make sure he actually looks like he's sitting in the chair instead of being awkward. We want him to look like he's comfortable. So I'll start off usually fairly light. Get his leg here. His feet dangle a little bit because he's sitting up a little high, but not too bad. I pretty much have what I want, so I'll start blocking a little bit of the details. His face, his collar here, his shirt. So now it's starting to look more and more like Homer the more and more I go over it. And when I'm done, it'll look something like this. This is a cleaned up version of Homer, which I had done off of a rough. Now I have something concrete to go off of. So for this particular thing, we're going to have Homer sneeze. And when he sneezes, one of his eyes is going to pop out because we had an earlier gag where we had a vacuum sucking on his eye from a previous episode. So what I'm going to do first is I need to have an anticipation. I need to have him going back first. A fun little action here to show him anticipating the action. So again, only using basic shapes and using a technique called flipping, I'm seeing how the action is going to work and making sure that all my shapes and all my volumes are consistent. So when I flip, you can already start to see his body's moving backwards. Now this is the fun part, because in animation we like to exaggerate things. So I'll give him a nice big open mouth. His eyes will go very wall-eyed, as we call it. So see, now it looks like he's taking a big breath. And then the next picture will have him actually in the sneezing pose. And this is what's called actually pose-to-pose animation, because we're only doing the most important poses. And the animation will get added later. We'll have Homer do a nice big achoo. Look at some spit there. So see, achoo, achoo. And we'll make this eye bigger because when he sneezes, it forces his eye to bulge out like this. We'll get his arm up because everything is affected in his body from whatever he's doing, whatever his actions are. So these are fairly rough drawings as they are now. I'll go in later and clean them up. But as you can see, we have a start pose. He goes into an anticipation pose and then his final action, which is him sneezing. So if I flip it, he goes, achoo. And this eye becomes bulbous and gross. And again, as you can see, I'm being very rough. I just want to feel the character, make sure I get his actions correct. And later on, I'll go back and clean it up to make it look like that. So as you can see, we have Homer sneezing. Achoo. So here, using the flipping technique, you see him pushing his eye back in. And then here he is, looking kind of embarrassed because his eye just almost fell out. So when it's all said and done, Homer will look like he just pushed his eye back into his head. So here is his embarrassed pose. I can see he's still in the chair. And then he'll return to his normal sitting pose. And that's how we do it.